Picture this. It's been a long, sweaty standoff between homebuyers and the market. Everyone's staring at the same number, waiting for it to flinch. And today, for the first time in a while, it actually did.
You're talking about mortgage rates, right? Because that number has been acting like it enjoys ruining weekend open houses. Exactly. The 30-year mortgage rate dipped to 6.33%. Not a miracle, not a fairy tale ending, but a real measurable blink. And for anyone trying to buy a home, that tiny dip feels like the market finally loosened its grip on your throat. At the same time, nobody's throwing a parade. A dip isn't a comeback. It's more like the market saying, fine, I'll stop being terrible for a minute.
Right.
The housing world collectively exhaled, but it's still that cautious kind of relief where you're waiting for the next number to drop. It's not a full-on romance between buyers and affordability. It's more like a brief text message that says, "You up?"
And the reason it matters is psychological as much as financial. People have been holding off, hoping for any sign that rates might stop climbing like they're training for a marathon. So that's story one, the tiniest shift. But after years of tension, even a small change feels loud. Now let's pivot from people trying to afford homes to someone treating their body like it's a high-end investment property that gets constant upgrades. LeBron. 41 years old, still playing like time signed a non-compete. And the secret isn't just talent or discipline, it's recovery. The kind of recovery that sounds less like stretch and hydrate and more like, welcome to the future.
It's like he's running a high-performance maintenance program. Some people age with vitamins and hope. He ages with a gadget catalog. Exactly. He treats his body like a luxury car that never misses a service appointment. Cryotherapy, compression boots, all the tools designed to make soreness disappear faster than most of us can finish complaining about it.
Meanwhile, the rest of us are over here with a heating pad, icy hot, and the belief that if we ignore it long enough, our knees will stop making that sound.
And that's the tension in that story. It's inspiring, but also kind of hilarious how wide the gap is. LeBron is essentially saying recovery is a system, and most of us are saying recovery is a nap if the schedule allows it.
Still, the takeaway is real. It's not just what you do on the court or in the gym, it's what you do after. He's not beating father time by pretending it doesn't exist, he's managing it like a professional.
All right. From the future of recovery to the future of, well, everything, if certain billionaires have their way. Because the third storyline today feels like it starts quietly and ends with you wondering whether your toaster is about to gain opinions.
Bezos and an AI startup with a mythical name, right? Prometheus. Which, just to set the mood, is a name that practically dares you to ask, what are we unleashing here? Reportedly hush hush. And now it's valued at $38 billion after raising $10 billion.
$38 billion. That's not interesting project money, this is now a serious pillar of an empire money. Exactly. It's either a brilliant strategic bet or the beginning of a world where your AI assistant politely recommends a new calendar system and subtly judges your screen time. People hear Bezos, AI, and massive valuation, and immediately their imagination jumps to robot butlers and sci-fi warnings.
And that's what makes the story land. It's not just that the number is big, it's that it signals momentum. Big funding, big valuation, big ambition. Whatever Prometheus is building, it's not being treated like a side quest.
Which brings us to a different kind of growth story. Not tech, not basketball longevity, but good old-fashioned hustle, real estate hustle.
Iron Valley Real Estate. They went from basically nothing to a $2 billion brokerage in 5 years.
That's wild. It also explains why real estate always feels like the land of overnight success, even though it's usually years of grinding, recruiting, scaling, and turning every connection into a lead. And it's a reminder that in real estate, the only thing that multiplies faster than home prices is the number of people who later claim they knew exactly how the story would end.
It's also a nice counterbalance to the mortgage rate news. Rates dip slightly, buyers get a sliver of hope, and meanwhile these brokerages are sprinting to grow. The industry keeps moving even when the market feels frozen. So let's tie it all together. We've got mortgage rates finally easing, even if just a little, enough to get people breathing again. We've got LeBron showing that longevity looks less like magic and more like meticulous maintenance. And we've got Bezos pouring rocket fuel into an AI venture that's already being priced like a future giant.
4 different stories, same underlying theme: momentum. Rates can shift, bodies can be engineered for performance, companies can scale at absurd speed, and AI can balloon into something massive before most people even understand what it is.
And if you're listening to all of this thinking, cool, but how does it affect me? It's this. The numbers that seem stuck can move. The limits that seem fixed can be pushed. And the quiet projects in the background can become the next big thing before the rest of us even notice. Just maybe don't call it Skynet to its face, all right?
Agreed. Let's keep it friendly. That's it for today. Same world, slightly different numbers, and a future that keeps arriving whether we're ready or not.